Hey everybody, now this video is for anyone in the United States who has now been eligible for a stimulus check. And word on the street is we're going to get another recurring stimulus check. So basically, for those who aren't filled in, we're getting a $1,200 stimulus check for anyone who's earning under a certain amount per year and anyone who is above a certain age and has filed their taxes. There's more specifications, but a large portion of people are getting this. And apparently, it's supposed to contribute to all the citizens and kind of help stimulate the economy because people need this money to thrive and help businesses thrive and so forth. And then word on the street is we may be getting a recurring stimulus check, $2,000 a month for who knows how long, maybe a year, maybe 6 months, who knows, but potentially a lot more money coming in the future for every citizen that's eligible. This video is for what to do with that money. I'm a huge personal finance fan. In fact, it's really what got me into personal development and technically started this channel. I read one book on making $1 million. It was by David Bach. It was actually an audiobook, and that introduced me to the world of personal development, the idea that you could change your life for the better through better habits, behaviors, and thinking. And so I'm fairly experienced in personal finance after years of studying it, and I want to give you some tips on how you can best spend this money so that you can make something of your life. Now, first and foremost, understand this. What everyone else does is usually not the right course of action. If you do what the average person does, you will get average results. It just makes sense. And so what is the average person going to do with these stimulus checks? Well, they're going to spend all of it. Millions upon millions of Americans, when they get this check, they're going to spend all of it immediately. They're going to blow it on probably stuff that they enjoy. Usually it's electronics. Sometimes it's fashion. They might get some new shoes, a new coat, maybe a Gucci belt, a Gucci coat, maybe a necklace. Maybe they'll spend it on fine dining, whatever they're interested in. Usually stuff that's going to rust, rot, and depreciate. And so they're going to feel happy, maybe pleasurable for a short period. And after a couple days or hours or weeks, that's going to dissipate. And all the benefit that they've accrued from this stuff will dissipate as well. And that'll be the end of it. Their money's gone, and they resume living their average lives. Now, if you don't want to live the same average life with the same average income that you have 10 years from now, you got to think smarter than that. So first and foremost, you're going to take action on a very well-known personal finance concept called paying yourself first. Now, if you don't know what this means, a quick definition is basically when you get your money, whether it's income, a stimulus check, whatever, the first thing you do with it is you allocate a portion of it for yourself to invest in yourself, your future earning potential, or just your future skill set. And you do it first because if you wait until the end, after you've spent all your money on fun stuff that you enjoy, sometimes you may realize you don't have much left because you haven't really allocated it properly, or you get too tempted, or you just kind of lose control and you spend too much on fun stuff. So that's why you have to, before you spend money on anything else, you pay yourself first. And yes, you can treat yourself. You should treat yourself to something fun. I'm not here saying that you've got to save all your money, you got to invest every cent of it, because just from an emotional standpoint, from a standpoint of not feeling bitter and angry and enjoying life and living your best life and treating yourself from time to time, you can spend some of that money on stuff you enjoy. And you should. It's fun, it's pleasurable. You should celebrate with some of that money that you're getting for free. The only caveat is that doesn't mean you have to spend it all. You can still treat yourself and have a good time without spending all your money. You see, most people, when I ask myself, why are they living the same life they lived 30, 40 years ago and still complaining about it. See, those type of people, if you don't complain, that's fine. But if you're complaining and you're still living that low income life, 20, 30 years into your job, usually it's their behaviors. It's their responsibility. It's their fault for not changing. Those people still working minimum jobs, 30, 40, minimum wage jobs 30, 40 years into their work life, it's often because they blow everything they have on their paycheck. Even if they get a substantial raise every year, they just get that extra income and they just blow it on stuff that they don't need. Oh, they'll just buy a new pot, a new pair of shoes. Maybe it's a new TV. All this stuff that makes them feel good temporarily, but ultimately keeps them in their same crappy apartment, same lifestyle, and nothing's changed because they keep buying stuff that's just rusting, rotting, and depreciating and not contributing to their earning power. Now, instead, if you want to be, living a much grander life a few years from now, not just, the size of your house or anything like that, although that could be part of it. Imagine the life you want. Maybe it's traveling more, going to exotic locations, just wearing better clothes maybe, or maybe it's getting a fancy haircut or eating better foods, being able to spend more money for your future children. You've got to think smarter than that. So first and foremost, pay yourself first. I like to allocate a good 30%, but I'm extreme. I would suggest for anyone starting out, pay yourself first with 15%, just 15%, 20% if you want to put yourself forward, even 25%. But allocate that first amount of that check to investing in yourself or just saving it, locking it away in a bank account or something that you can't access for a while. Maybe that's an index fund. A Vanguard S&P 500 index fund is the one I recommend. Just locking it away for a while before you can reaccess it. You could contribute it into your 401k in that index fund. That's an easy way. That way you can't spend it, so it is saved money. Or just lock it away into a bank account. And therefore, it can be an emergency fund because you never know when something else will cause you to be out of work and you need that emergency fund. Many finance experts recommend at least 1 year of expenses saved in your emergency fund so that if you lose your job or you get into a horrible car accident or other illness or some other economic catastrophe happens, you're able to still survive in the world. That's very important. So savings, one way of doing it. Another is investing in yourself. So you can invest in an index fund or you can invest in yourself through your skill sets. So maybe that means there's certain things that you know is going to contribute to your future earning income. It could be a certification. It could be a course. Maybe you've always wanted to get into real estate or music production, but you've never had the resources to purchase that software equipment to create music, or you don't have the knowledge to start real estate, and now you can buy that $200 course that gets you started. Those are the investments that can have tremendous payoffs down the road. So do that first, and you still have a large chunk of money left over. For me, I'm a bit of an extremist, and I have the willpower to be able to sock away 30, 35% of what I get off the bat, sometimes even more. There are people even more extreme. But you still have 70 to 80% of that money for you to spend, to do what you want, and then you can go to down. Treat yourself. Have a fun time. Do what you want with the rest of it. You don't have to hold back then. If you want to go buy a go-kart with the rest, do it. But just realize that if you pay yourself first, and the more you can rationally and emotionally allocate away for savings and investments in the future, 20, 30 years down the line, you won't be having to hope for a stimulus check to have a good life. You may have hundreds of thousands of dollars already because of your income, and you could buy all the Chipotle burritos, go-karts, watches, necklaces you want, while the other people who didn't think smart and pay themselves first are still hoping and praying for those tiny raises and stimulus checks. Hopefully this video helped, and I'll see you later.